So today I'm trying to learn Objective Kiev. Not Objective Kiev, what am I saying? This is, what is it called? Battle for Kursk. That's what I'm learning. Many more pieces. So this is reaching the point where I think it would make sense to sort these ahead of time into smaller baggies. And, maybe based on like what the setup is for the game, sort all the units used that start into one baggie and then the other ones into other baggies, because this is going to take a bit of time to read through here and understand how it all needs to be sorted. Okay, I just finished setting up, and I was just looking at the rules and trying to understand like what's different about this game versus Battle for Moscow and the other games in that system. And as far as I can tell, other than the fact that there are a lot more units, there's really only one difference in the rules, and it's this posture system, which is actually really cool. And so the way it works, because it's in my opinion, it's not summarized very nicely, is very simple, which is that you have to trade off between being able to move and attack against being able to replace your casualties. So the way I would explain it is you've got 4 different postures you can take: pause, reposition, deploy, and engage. And the way to understand that is if you need to be able to attack, you must be in the engage posture. And you can see that here, combat has this E here. The E stands for engage. That means that this combat phase, you only get to do that combat phase if you are in the engage posture. Let's say you don't, and this, look at the penalty here. You get 2 fewer infantry replacement points, and you get 2 fewer armor replacement points as a cost to that, like a penalty, a trade-off. Let's say you don't need to do combat, you don't need to attack, but you do need to move around a lot. And so if you need to move around a lot, but you don't need to attack, you must be, or you're going to want to be in the deploy posture. And what that does is, you can see here, it lets you do the second movement phase, the armor and rail movement phase, where you can move your infantry along the rail lines, or you can move your armor twice, or you can move your infantry twice. So that is, if you need to move around a lot, and you can see there's a lot of space to move around here, then you're going to want to do this deploy posture. Let's say you don't need to move around that crazy amount of hexes. You don't need to move around a ton. You don't need to do huge movements. You just need to move around a little bit. Well, then for that, you're going to want to be in the reposition posture, because that lets you do your normal movement phase. You can see there the R. But you're not going to be able to do the second armor rail movement phase, but you will be able to do your normal movement phase. And let's say that you don't really need to do any of that, or alternatively, let's say you've suffered a bunch of casualties, and what you really want is more than to be able to attack or move around. You want to be able to replace your guys. Well, then you'd want to be in the pause posture, and that gives you 2 bonus infantry replacement points. But you can see you're only going to do the replacement phase. You're not going to do any of these other phases: move, combat, or armor rail. So that is how that system works. The other little complication or wrinkle is that you only get to change posture for free, either going back 1 or staying in the same one or moving up 1. You can do that for free each turn. If you need to move more than 1 space from where your posture was last turn, you need to expend one of these offensive markers. And so, you can see 1 column plus 1 column per unit. So I guess maybe that only lets you move an additional, it's not going to let you jump from pause to engage. It's just going to let you jump from pause to deploy if you spend 1 of these, and you'll have to spend 2 if you want to jump from pause to engage. So it's like an in-game, it's like a currency. And the way that you keep track of when you get these is that it's on the turn track. You can see that number there, the +1 there, and the +1 there. That means that each player gets one of those that turn. And these guys, that one, this one, they don't get any. Neither of them get any. In this one, the Germans get 1, the Soviets get 0, So Germans get 1, Soviets get 0. So it's not clear what the historical like realism justification for that is, where you maybe that's like higher command, something coordinating with higher command, but that's what that means. And then another one little tiny minor difference in what's happening is that in it, I guess 1 or 2 turns, the Germans will actually have negative replacement points, which means they're going to have to flip some units that are on the map already to, I guess, reposition them to somewhere else on the front or something. So that's the other little new thing in the rules. But that's it. I mean, all the other rules are the same as far as I can tell, they're pretty much the same as in the other games. So that's really cool. It's a nice gradual step up in complexity. And this is like a much more impressive looking game on the table than those other ones, which are nice because those ones are nice because they're portable and quick to set up. But this one is nice because it's like visually stunning, and there's no debate that this is a real war game right here. So that's cool. I think one last point I'd like to make, which is something that just occurred to me, is that the scale of these units is the same, right? These are German corps, just like in the other games, the earlier games. So the difference is really that this is stretching all the way from the north of Russia all the way to the south. So this is like pretty much the entire front, as far as I could tell. It doesn't include Leningrad. I don't know if they even were near Leningrad at this time. So I think the way to think about this game is that it's like three of those other games put together. So you've got like this part, you've got like this part, and then you've got this part in the south. So you can think of this as being like 3 different games. I guess, one maybe missed opportunity is that it would be cool if there were scenarios that just focused on, 1/3 of this front, just to like, if people don't have time to do the whole thing, it would let them do do at least a part of it to ease into it. So, but that helps me to wrap my head around this, because I thought like, wow, there's so many more units. Is this like the same scale or not? And I think it is. It is the same scale. It's just combining all of those different games into one, and it's a different time, right? Like those other games are focused on Barbarossa, 1941. This is 1943, so it's a different period in the war. So that helps me wrap my head around what is going on with this game.